these chairs reserved? Did they say, like, were they ribboned off or something before, whenever you walked in?
It's like going to church and nobody sits up front.
That's funny. It's like a good Baptist. You show up early to get a good seat in the back.
All right, the time is now 6:01, and we are ready to start the October 21, 2021 Board of Education regular meeting. Appreciate everybody showing up tonight. How y'all doing tonight? All right. Has everyone had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I call this meeting of the Harrison School District 2 Board of Education to order. I've already thanked you all for coming in this evening. Members of the public who desire to address the board on any topic related to board work must sign the roster before 6:30 p.m. That's located to my right, your left. Speakers must limit their remarks to not more than 3 minutes and appoint a spokesperson if the concern is a group concern. Personal attacks will not be allowed. Focus on an individual will end a speaker's comment time period. The board will not respond to any public comment. We will review the information presented and provide responses as needed at a later time. Ms. Pugh, if you'll give us a roll call, please.
Regina English.
Is excused this evening. She is representing us at the Fall Delegate Assembly. It's the first time we've had a representative in about 9 years.
Linda Pugh, here. Steve Siebert.
Here.
Corey Williams.
Here.
And our student reps are not present.
Oh, not this evening. All right, item 2.2, Pledge of Allegiance and reading of the mission statement. Participating tonight, we have Amara Scher, Brianna Gorman, Gustavo Medina Valdovinos. Oh, there we go. Yasleen Alman, Jelani Valdez, Valedas, there we go. Chris Dent. The following students are from Panorama Middle School, and they will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance and will read the mission statement and participate in Panorama's showcase. We thank you and your families for being here tonight, and we'll take the lead from you.
This side, it's been moved.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our mission statement is to graduate college and career-ready students with the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors to personally succeed and contribute to the common goal.
All right, thank you, everyone. And I believe you can just stay up there. You don't have to walk away too quick. Item number 3, we're going to adopt the agenda. The board shall function as a single unit. And I would just need a motion.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Siebert, second by Mrs. Pugh. All of those in favor?
Aye.
And we have a meeting. Item number 4, showcasing schools. R1 academic performance, students will achieve at least 1 year's academic gain each year, with students performing below expectations progressing at a greater rate. R2, students will develop the skills necessary to lead healthy, satisfying, and productive lives. Item 4.1, Showcase in Schools, Panorama School, Principal Gallegos, and APs Mrs. Parks and Mrs. Smith.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles Dixon. Hello.
It's not working.
Just give us a minute while we fix that. We want to hear what you're saying.
Right.
Most definitely.
All right.
Seven.
There we go.
There it is.
All right.
All right.
We're in business.
All right, can y'all hear me now?
Very good.
All right, well, good evening again. My name is Charles Dixon. I'm the community representative for the School Accountability Committee at Panorama Middle School, and it's my honor and my pleasure to introduce this leadership team before the board tonight. Before I do that, I'd just like to give, a little bit of my experience, what it's been like to have the opportunity to partner with Panorama as a community member. It's really just been, from day one, they've welcomed me and my guys in with open arms. They've allowed us to be a bridge into the community because we reflect the community, and they work hard to attack problems and look for adaptive solutions versus just technical solutions, and try to see what's really going on in the community instead of just sitting around and not really taking the time to hear the voices of the community. So it's just been great from day one. All aspects of the staff, the principals, the officers, the security, and most importantly, the kids. We've been able to connect with the kids and see what's going on just beyond the classroom. So it's been a great experience. So without further ado, here's Anitra Gallegos. So here you go.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dixon. And Board of Education, thank you so much for having us here today to present Panorama Middle School. And the reason I had my community member go ahead and introduce this presentation is because our school's mission really is to grow and support community, and the best way to do that is through the future of our community, which is our students. And so I'm just really glad to be here to represent the Panorama Cougars. This is my second year as principal of this building, and it has been an amazing journey. And so I'm really excited about all the different promises and things that we are going to be trying to contribute to Harrison School District. And so I want to start this off with our value promise statement, and this is going to be read by one of our web leaders. So why don't you come on up, sir?
Hi, my name is Gustavo Medina Valdovinas, and I'll be reading the vision statement. Through a strong commitment between students, families, staff, and community partners, Panorama Middle School is a socially and emotionally safe school that provides a rigorous academic learning environment which prepares every student for every college and career opportunity.
Thank you, Gustavo.
Very nice.
So for us, being Panorama is about including so many different aspects of who we are. So what you see up here is I asked my staff to begin to show pride in our building. And so we have done a lot of work around making sure that our hopes, dreams for our community and our students is well and alive in our halls. And so our teachers have done a lot of really great things to beautify our building. We'll talk a little bit more about beautification, but we've really done a lot to try to change the narrative that's been a little bit pervasive around this school for a little bit. And so some of the unmeasured data that we really wanted to highlight for you today is that we are the largest comprehensive middle school in the Harrison School District. Our enrollment for October count was 475, and we are continually enrolling students every day. And so that is that's a plus for us. We enjoy bringing more students into our school and being able to serve them. And one of the really big pieces of unmeasured data that I wanted to share with the board today was the retention of highly qualified teachers. Over the last several years, we've had a pretty high turnover there. And so I'm very proud to present to the board and to the rest of the audience that in the 2020-2021 school year, we retained all of the teachers in 3 of the 4 core content areas. And we had one of the lowest turnovers that we had had in over a decade. And
That's
this
amazing.
is Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you. We were so excited about that. And, you know, that allowed us to continually improve our systems. We were able to start the school year in a way that we just hit that ground running. We were able to address some of the problems or things that went well last year, you know, build on some of the successes, and we were able to do that because we had returning teachers. And I just have to say that the teachers at Panorama really, aside from the students, are the heartbeat. They work hard, they work tirelessly, and I have the utmost respect for my educators, and I just want to let you guys know that is a hard-working group of people there, and we're really proud of them. And so tonight's focus, as you kind of heard, it's going to be 3-pronged. We're going to talk a lot about our community partnerships and how that helps us leverage our successes throughout the school. We're also going to be talking about some of the academic achievements and some of the improvements we've made to address our academic performance at this time. And then we are going to talk about some of the awesome opportunities we have for students. So, talking about community, if you look there, I am so proud of my building. If you have not been out to Panorama in quite some time, you need to come out. We have done a lot with our community partner, and I'm going to have my friend Roland Smith here from 'Cause I Love You come up. I know that we have a great partnership with 'Cause I Love You, and I wanted Roland to come up and talk about what it means for him and his organization to partner with us and how it's been mutually beneficial to both entities. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my community partner.
Thank you. Yeah, my name's Roland Smith, and I'm a pastor on staff at Pulpit Rock Church, and we partner with Panorama through 'Cause I Love You as an organization. That's how we met Anitra, and we started this right when she became principal during COVID. So it was a really interesting time to start building dreams about how we could help the school. But we've done quite a bit of kind of beautification to the building, and which is kind of an easy onboarding way to do it. We've probably had over 150 volunteers out there from our church community at various events doing different things, and we have more things planned for the future. And we love this partnership. We're as blessed by it as probably Panorama is, you know, with new paint and things like that. And so we love being there. Our biggest hope is that we can, through beautifying the building, but also through supporting teachers, administrators, and this principal emotionally, mentally, you know, cheering them on in some different ways, that we can help make their job a little bit easier. So we love the partnership.
Thank you, Roland.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. And our partnership with them has, like you can see here, this was Panorama when I first adopted it. It just looked like it needed a little bit of elbow grease. And that's exactly what we did. So I invite you guys to come by and check it out. It's just so beautiful. This was our last beautification day, and I got to shout out to Patty Parks, her vision on the concrete planters that have been there for a long time, very plain, very, very plain. Ms. Parks, just because of the heart and the love that she has for the building, just really pushed for that, and we made that happen, so we're really excited about that. And I've talked a lot now, so I'm going to turn it over to one of my other leaders. We've heard from some community, and I'm going to turn it over to my other leader so she can introduce herself and some of the other partnerships.
Hi, I'm Blanca Smith, and I'm the assistant principal here at Panorama. I've been with Panorama over 20 years. My children went through Panorama, and we are products of Harrison School District 2, and I live not too far from the school here in the South Side. And so my heart and soul is at Panorama. And so I was very excited to be able to bring on board a new partnership this year. And this partnership is called Kappa Epsilon Psi Military Sorority. One of our friends and a parent of an HSD2 student, Sanji White, reached out to me. Her daughter right now is a senior at Sierra High School, and she's also been awarded a scholarship to be one of our teachers that are going to come back after she graduates UCCS and teach in our district. So we're super excited about that for her. But Sanji contacted me and said, Blanca, I know you've been at Panorama a long time, and my sorority really wants to partner with your school. How can we help? What do you need? And initially she wanted to bring backpacks, and I said, oh no, we've got lots of backpacks. And she said, what do the kids want? And so we found that a lot of our kiddos wanted mechanical pencils, highlighters, things that they didn't get in their backpacks. And so they came on board. These ladies are either active duty military or prior service. So this is really dear to my heart because I am too a veteran, prior service. And so these ladies came on board. They brought us lots of goodies for our kiddos, and our web leaders helped unload and unpack all of those supplies. So here they are. And I love their vision, women of service being of service. So we look forward to some future mentorship from these ladies for our kiddos. And so here they are bringing that also. Another exciting partnership that we started this year is we applied for a grant through Amazon, and we were awarded a grant from them, and it's called Amazon Future Engineers Program, and it really is a curriculum-based program that has been awarded to our classroom teacher, Miss Orenvides, and she is teaching our students how to program on the computers. They also get to engage in different STEM activities in our STEAM Innovation Lab. And this curriculum is valued at $50,000, and it is going to be with us for the next couple of years. So our students not only are doing the program interactively, but they also get to meet and greet other engineers through Amazon virtually. And so this is them doing some of those interviews and finding out what kind of jobs could I get through a STEAM education. So we're excited about this partnership as well. And so I want to turn it back over to Ms. Gallegos.
All right, I'm going to make it quick. Okay. All right. So we have great partnerships helping us get the things that we need for our staff and students. But we also needed to remember our families and some of the academics that we sometimes need to have not sometimes, we always need to have the focus of academics, but this year, one of our strategic action plans was to have a targeted intervention plan for our students. And this plan also included our community. And so what you see here is our Pikes Peak Library District came out for our Family Literacy Night. That was an amazing event where we had community, Pikes Peak Literacy, and families come out, and we gave out 2 free books to every person that came. Some even went home with boxes of books. You can see them here. Families and students were engaging in literacy activities. Families were learning how to read our iReady reports. I know that's one of our data sources here. And so we taught our families how to do that because we know that when families understand the need and they have tools to address this in their homes, that they want to. And so that's what we did through that night. And the biggest academic intervention that we have implemented this year has been a class called Access. Now, this class happens 40 minutes a day, Tuesday through Friday, and this class allows us to goal set academically in areas of mathematics and language arts. We also have implemented a reading across the curriculum plan so that all teachers are utilizing and implementing the same strategies to make reading more accessible to our students without sacrificing the rigor. And then we've also included a social emotional curriculum called Habitudes, because we understand that students have a lot more learning that they need to do other than just academics. And so we try to do that socially and emotionally. And here's a couple of pictures of our teachers from some of their Access classes, and just how can we keep our students connected. And we asked them to give little positive messages for our students, and so they created these, and we put those out there for everybody, and it was really great. So now I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Gallagher, who's going to talk about our students real quick.
Hi there, my name is Siobhan Gallagher. I've been a counselor at Panorama for 6 years. And these are my WEB leaders. We've had WEB, which stands for Where Everyone Belongs. It is a 6th to 8th grade mentoring program. We start with an orientation, helping our 6th graders, because we do recognize that 5th to 6th grade is the hardest transition. So we want to help those students make sure that they're ready for 6th grade. And so our 8th graders, they take on an orientation of those students before school starts. And then they also mentor them throughout the school year. So as you can tell, we've got several of our students here. And we have one of our students, Yasleen Allman. She's got a prepared statement she would like to tell you about our program.
Hi, my name is Yasleen Allman, and I will be presenting about the WEB. As a student leader at Panorama, we feel it is our responsibility to represent our school by showing new students around the school to ensure they feel included from their first day on. WEB leaders must put other people first by helping them socialize with their peers, showing how having the PBIS program gives a student a voice and putting others before ourselves. Through working with our Care and Share Food Pantry, the Student Council and WEB programs also make events for our school to make sure we have more inclusivity. When we feel included, we have a voice. This is how we show leadership at Panorama.
All right, thank you. And I'm going to have Ms. Parks come up. She's going to talk a little bit about our PBIS system, which is one of our biggest selling points for our students. And so, Ms. Patty Parks.
Good evening. I'm not sure I need this, but I'll use it. I've also been at Panorama for 21 years, and I have the privilege of running this PBIS program, which is really awesome for me because I get to have some fun with the students. We have a PBIS system that is an online system. Students get points for behaviors, for academics, for just various reasons. Any teacher in the building, any administrator, any secretary, any custodian, every adult has the ability to give students points. And students gather their points, they save their points for various things. One of the things that we run once a month is our student store. We actually have a store. It has ear pods, it has sports equipment, it has board games, it has snack items, but they save their money. Ear pods, for an example, are 2,000 points, and I'll have kids save their points till they can buy it. That's their eye. That's the eye on the prize that they want to get. So we open that store once a month for all students. They get to come, spend their points. But then we also have what we call a monthly activity. I just did one. It was a dance. So they have to use points to pay entry fee into the dance. And the one thing that they like the most is called a VIP status. So kids will come up to me at lunchtime when I'm selling the tickets. They'll say, VIP, please. And it is more points. It's about 500 points to be a VIP. I think I did 400 this time. But I was really amazed. I had 150 VIPs. I had my idea of, and so VIPs get to come 30 minutes early, and they get to have pizza and a drink before they go into the dance. So they get to feel special. And I honestly had in my mind how many I would have, and I had my order ready for pizza and had to call them back and say, oh, let's triple that, because I have 150 VIPs this time. So, I mean, we had a great time at the dance. The students really thoroughly enjoyed it. We also have a PBIS system for our teachers. It's called Teacher Rewards. So our teachers can hand out points to other teachers for various reasons. Thank you for supporting me in my time of need, for this class, or whatever the case may be. And then, thanks to Cause I Love You and the donations that they give us for the teacher store, I open the store for the teachers, and they're just like the kids. I have to tell them not to move my items because the prices are there. Don't move the items. And so they get very excited about,
VIP for the teachers?
there's no VIP for teachers yet, not yet. But yeah, so they, and you know, their prizes are a lot different. We've had Keurig coffee machines, we've had sandwich makers, we've had, I mean, just, yeah, we had the one thing that a lot of them were eyeing was a car care kit. It had all the things you need to clean your car, and so the teachers were kept checking, how much is that one? Okay, I need to save some more. It'll still be here, right? I said, I don't know. But yes, so PBIS is a way for us to build the culture and get everyone some fun things to do and let them know that you are doing the right thing. Oh, and then I'll hand it back over to Ms. Gallegos.
Thank you. All right. I feel like we're almost done with our time. And so, we just wanted to thank the board and the audience for hearing all the great things that are going on at Panorama. There is a lot more, but we only have 20 minutes, and I was told if we went over that it could be something out in the parking lot. So I don't know about all that. But we also wanted to just put up here some other opportunities that we have for our students. We wanted to thank this board for its tremendous service to our schools, our community, and as a token of appreciation, we have our students that would like to present our board members with a little gift. And we just thank you for your time and everything that you do to make Harrison School District the best school district in Colorado Springs. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Regina get to share that?
Well, I have to say, Ms. Smith, Ms. Parks, Ms. Gallegos, you guys personify our strategic plan to a T. The fact that we have all of these community leaders with us today, Mr. Dickinson, Mr. Smith, Ms. Gallagher, with Cause I Love You, all of those pieces of community are working for the better. That classroom piece, access, habitudes, that is clever. That is very clever, habitudes, I like that. Web, PBIS, even the teachers getting a piece of that action with the point system. I found myself on social media one day looking at some food items, and I was like, man, I want that skillet. Like those are such adult things, like, man, I want a coffee maker, I want a skillet, like, never thought that would be me, but I'm there. But you guys are doing an amazing job. Love what you're doing. Keep doing it. All positive, all love coming from you guys. I really appreciate what you guys have going on. Ms. Pugh, anything to add?
You said it well.
Mr. Siebert?
You know, it's fantastic to have students back. I know that you gave a lot of things, and I won't repeat a lot of those. All the groundwork happens there. Everything that we do, many kids don't even know that there is a Board of Education or what we do. I was actually, I'm a graduate of Harrison District as well, so an alum. And I didn't know that there was a Board of Education at the time, so it's great to see you guys. Appreciate you being here, and it's wonderful to have, even though we're covered. You know, I wish I could draw a smile on my face, because we really are smiling under here, so it's good to see you guys. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing work. Thank you.
Can we get a picture with Panorama and the board over here?
Yeah, let's
And
do
the
that.
community partners,
Let's
Roland?
do that. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, I'm short, so I go in front.
I like to say I'm short, so I get in back.
No, we're short, we go in front, we don't have to have any, let's have, yay. These are my favorite.
Can we shift you guys a little bit this way so I don't get the podium?
Oh, we're all gonna smile when
You
we're
have
all
to scoot in and say, Web. Thank you.
I'm going to have to hide this bag from my wife because she's probably going to try to steal it from me. All right. All right, moving right along. Item number 5, results. Academic performance, GC1. The board's purpose is to assure that the district achieves the results described in the board's results policies. R1, student will achieve at least 1 year's academic gain. Item 5.1, academic performance, reading and writing. Mr. Andy Bristol.
And I don't know that we have.
He looks different tonight a little bit.
Amazingly, he never takes time off, but he's on vacation.
Good for him, because he works hard. Yes, he does. How are you today, Rachel?
I am just fine. How are all of you?
Doing good, thank you.
So this is really just follow-up from what we presented at the last work session, where we went through the presentation with the new indicator report around reading performance using the KAI Ready data. So we don't have anything new to present to you, really just any opportunity for follow-up questions about the previous reports.
I don't know that I have any particular questions, but, you know, if you weren't at the work session, there's a couple things I pulled out of that I thought were worth mentioning. And kind of a reminder to us that results is really the point of being here, and making sure that we get that on the agenda early and address it every meeting. I think one of the notices was that we expected some loss during COVID, but it wasn't as serious as we had anticipated, and that's a plus. I mean, it was a struggle, but it didn't come out quite as we thought it would. It was much better. We're closing the reading gap between subgroups, which is certainly a positive. And I think one of the nice things as we're looking at indicators and targets is that we're now using a local measure, and we're not being restricted by the fact that there was no CMAS testing. So we can now continue to evaluate our students' growth and changes based on what we can control. And the other thing that I kind of pulled out of there is that we've got some real solid interventions at K through 5. And so next steps would be kind of moving that to the secondary, kind of the conversation we had at the school today where I went with you. So I just wanted to kind of pull out, for those who weren't here to hear that report, those struck me as worth mentioning from the results.
If I could just comment on a couple of those. So with the loss from the pandemic not being quite as impactful with ELA as we expected, do know that we're repeating this process with this new version of the indicator report coming up in math. So you will see a little different result with math, because we know that is a content area that is much more sequential. And so when students did lose some academic time, you will see that the impact in math is a little more significant than what's in this report. But also connecting to your comment about interventions, what we have put in place in math this year is much more intense than ELA, because we had predicted that. So we weren't waiting for the results to then figure out a plan. So we do feel like you will start to see over the course of this year that we recoup some of that unfinished learning in math.
Well, even though I wasn't here, I did get a chance to read the report myself and send my notes to my fellow board members. And I will say that we are so far ahead of the curve than a lot of other districts right now. That not so significant loss that we had greatly overshadows a lot of other districts. And it speaks to the testament of our dedication from our staff, our students. A lot of, I feel bad for a lot of other districts. I love that we have been proactive and attacking head on. You've seen many of our elementary schools who have presented that they are jumping on that bridging that gap of the reading level. And then our web leaders who were just here a second ago, that community is strong. We know what we need to work on. We've owned our ugly, as Dr. Berhansel, has stated before, and we are attacking it head on, and I love it. It's amazing. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
I would say thank you, but all the principals are sitting back here, so it
I'm
really
looking
goes
at
to
them
them. Yes.
Mr. Siebert,
This is
anything?
our one chance a month that's televised before the public. This is where we own everything that we do, good, bad, or ugly. Getting there, not getting there fast, getting there not fast enough. Something very, very different if you were to attend a board meeting in any other district in the area. There is so much that they talk about that's not student-centered, that's not results-centered. And we've pledged that results will be academic results, social results. There are other measures, but results, outcomes for our kids will be talked about at every board meeting. That'll be the center and focus of our meetings, not fighting about buses or programs or whatever else. That's not our board's focus. So I just want to tout that. And it's I don't want to say it's been a long time coming. It's been an evolution over about the past 10 years to get to the point that we don't fight about superfluous things that many other boards have dissension and fight about, that we are truly a board and a district for performance of the kids, outcomes for our students. That's this board's focus. And I can be very proud to say that for the 8 years that I've been here, it very much has been a results outcome-focused board. So that's it. My
I'll
little
just add,
soapbox.
I know you've already mentioned, but our staff saw COVID as a challenge, but a challenge we're used to. So our staff is used to having barriers thrown at them, challenges thrown at them, and they stepped up to the plate, which is why you see our goals are 100% of students will make growth. We're not using COVID as an excuse.
That's right.
And the leaders sitting in this room will be the first ones to champion that. And I think that also makes us different, is those are not excuses for us. Those are just one more thing to overcome and actually find a way to use that as something to launch off. So again, I would say we put our students, staff, and leaders up against any district and we'd win every time. But COVID just showed, I think, even more how strong we are as a district in focusing on quality instruction for students and what they need.
Very nice.
Well,
Another notch in the belt.
yes, and we will be back in November with the math version of this, and I promise Andy Bristol will be with me.
And to follow up for the group as well, Andy did present this to us in a work session. And for those of you, I see a couple familiar faces that have been at work sessions, and we're at this particular work session. We don't just glaze over something very quickly and dismiss it.
Right.
This was a 35-minute blow-by-blow rendition that we went through very, very astutely. So it's not, I hear the word rubber stamp a lot, consent agenda, and it just gets passed very quickly. There's a lot of discussion and a lot of back and forth that happens surrounding these at a work session. So it's been thoroughly discussed and presented.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, item number 6, public comment. GC 3.3, the board will initiate and maintain constructive two-way dialogue with students, staff, parents, and citizens as a means to engage all stakeholders in the work of the board and the district. And this evening, we do not have any for public comment. Item 6.1, it is Principal Appreciation Month. This is the month we get to show our appreciation to a group of people that we can't show enough appreciation for, even though we just tooted you guys all the way to heaven. The definition for a school principal is someone who solves problems you didn't know existed in ways that will blow your mind, and yes, you have. See also ninja, awesome, and legend. So I'm sitting in a room full of legends right now. It's amazing. A principal knows that today they lead their school, tomorrow their students will lead the world. We also have the best assistant principals on the planet. Being an assistant principal is as easy as riding a bike, except the bike is on fire. You are on fire and everything is on fire. Thank you to all our assistant principals. Our deans know that students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We join our students and staff and want to recognize our outstanding principals, assistant principals, and deans. We support what you do and appreciate your dedication. We and the executive team have a small token to remind you what you mean to us in Harrison School District 2. And we're going to call you all up by name, and we have a few gifts up here for you.
Why don't we all go here and then just return?
Ms. Jarbo? Ms. Young? Ms. Talia Young? Principal Sherman?
And you need to stay up here for a picture, Principal.
Yeah, we can stay. Here we go. We got a lot. Ms. Bresky?
Donaldson?
Principal Vargas? Ms. Robinson, Pam Robinson. Thank you for everything.
Jenna Thomas?
Ms. Noyes? Principal Moore? Ms. Godwin? It's only right. It's only right.
It's the accent connection.
Oh, Jen's not here today.
Oh, no, she's not.
Principal Valdez?
Principal Tunson. Ms. Paredes? She not here this week?
I'm gonna do it this way.
Principal Dunn? Principal Ryder? Ms. Layman?
Kim Houston?
The picture director's gonna give you directions. I know you can. Come on. Slide. We have to at least have two, or probably three. Should we stand? I'm tall. Look at me and say, graduation. Now, maybe May. How about summer? Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Do you want a motion for the others, for the APs? Just mention you also have some for the APs and those.
We also have a few items for the APs and the deans. When we go off to executive session, we have a huge cart that we're gonna distribute that out to you guys, all right?
And there's no trading. I see you looking at each other.
All right, and to replace item 6.2, since we don't have any public comment, we would need a motion to entertain our R1 indicators.
I would move to approve the presented and attached ELA R1 indicators.
Second.
That was a motion by Mr. Siebert, second by Mrs. Pugh. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Very nice. All right, moving right along to item number 7, board consent agenda. GC 2.6, the board will use a consent agenda as a means to expedite the disposition of routine matters and dispose of other items of business it chooses not to discuss. GC 3.5, ensure acceptable superintendent performance through effective monitoring of results and operational expectation policies. This is item number 7.1, policy change, GC 2, governing commitments. 7.2, policy change, GC8, board member conflict of interest. 7.3, approval of minutes, work session from September 16th, 2021. 7.4, OE11, instructional program monitoring report. 7.5, OE7, financial administration indicator report. And for item number 7.6, I would just need a motion.
Well, again, I would just make a comment that for those of you who have been at a work session, every one of these have been sometimes excruciatingly discussed and hammered out. The board doesn't always accept the first rendition, and they go back to staff many times for changes in the discussion until the board is satisfied. So I just really want to point out that there's been a tremendous amount of discussion on every one of these items that hit the consent agenda, that they're not just brushed over and looked upon lightly. So with that, I would move. Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I have one more thing to mention. As far as the policy changes, we simply moved an item from GC 2.2A. We simply lifted that little phrase and stuck it under GC 8 because we thought it was more pertinent as a conflict of interest item.
Correct, yes.
So it was, we just moved something. We didn't really change the wording, we just relocated it to a different policy.
And I would just need a motion.
I move to approve the board consent agenda items as presented.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Siebert, second by Mrs. Pugh. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very nice. Item number 8, superintendent consent agenda. GC 2.6, the board will use a consent agenda as a means to expedite the disposition of routine matters and dispose of other items of business it chooses not to discuss. All administrative matters delegated to the superintendent that are required to be approved by the board will be acted upon by the board via consent agenda. Item number 8.1, October personnel report. Item 8.2, August financial statement. And for 8.3, I would just need a motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda items as stated.
The second?
Motion by Mrs. Pugh, second by Mrs. Siebert. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Apologies for that, Mr. Siebert.
Is that Mrs. Seaver?
Yeah.
I thought that was a
I thought I saw your wife out there in the crowd. All
I
right.
chose to ignore that. Another parking lot discussion.
All right, item number 9, monitoring board performance. GC 2.2, the board is responsible for its own performance and commits itself to continuous improvement. GC 6, the board will follow an annual work plan that includes continual monitoring and review of all policies, dialogue sessions with community and staff groups, and activities to improve board performance. GC 3.2, the board will advocate for the district and the students it serves. 9.1, annual work plan. Do we have any changes?
We've talked about revising the order of agenda review by board position. December being secretary. We had talked about starting over at that point. There'll be new board members on.
That's correct.
And new positions, and I would recommend starting over with president and running down the list again there.
In December?
In December?
Starting
Yes.
in December, yeah.
Yeah, and I would simply mention that November really should be the treasurer, not vice president.
And it
Again,
will, I
got
will
out of
take,
order.
we've had discussion, I will take the November agenda.
Yeah, and then,
Mr. Williams.
and I agree, we start in December with the president, who's at least been on the board for a while, as opposed to unless that position changes. We also have some more specifics on retreat dates. When you make the change in January, the retreat will actually start the evening of the afternoon of the 28th. I think we said from 1 to 5 for team building, and then all day on the 29th, the Saturday, for the new board to be able to review the policies and.
Yeah, it's a day and a half.
Yeah, a day and a half, so it's the 28th and the 29th. And I believe we put a retreat date in March of the 5th, is that correct?
That is correct also. Those are a few dates for our board candidates. You'll get those once you get up here. Planning out some meetings and some training so that we can be a more cohesive unit when you guys step on the dais.
We also had some discussion about when is the best time to present OE6 for financial planning. Something for Wendy's consideration, that tying it to the presentation of the budget in June might make more sense than August, because that's all the support that the budget supports all the compliance of that particular OE.
We want it done in June again,
Is June the best month for the presentation of the budget, Wendy?
when we approve the budget.
I'll confer with Shelley, because I'm not sure if that's what she would think, based on getting the budget done is a lot of work, so I don't know if, doing OE is at the same time is, but we can talk and get back with you of where to put it.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
It's just the advantage is that the support, all the evidence is in the
same
budget.
month. Yep. While you're in the calendar, I would also note that Harrison Band took second at regionals and will be going to state. I'm not sure when state is, Pete.
Very nice.
2nd of November. I think it's
On election day?
I'm sorry, I believe it's in November. Oh, now you say that, I'm not sure. I don't think it's Halloween weekend, but I thought it was in November, so maybe it's the following weekend.
I think we are good on all those future meetings for now. Item 9.2, Dr. Behansel, any legislative updates?
Just continuing to watch the interim finance committee to see if they're gonna change school finance formula. Yeah, and that's just going on. I mean, to be expected,
Continuous.
a lot of opinions, but no more money to the pot, so it's how we're gonna divide it up, so.
All right, moving right along to item number 10, executive session, GC1. The Board of Education of Harrison School District 2 represents, leads, and serves the district's owners according to Colorado Constitution, Section 9, and holds itself accountable to them by committing to the act in their best interests and by ensuring that all board and district action is consistent with law and the board's policies according to Colorado Revised Statutes, OE 4.8. The board shall protect confidential information. The following people will be attending the executive session: Ms. Linda Pugh, Mr. Steve Siebert, and Mr. Corey Williams. And I would just need a motion.
I move that the Board of Education convene to executive session to discuss a personnel matter as authorized in Colorado Revised Statutes pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024F.
Second.
That motion was from Mrs. Pugh, second by Mr. Siebert. All of those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we will.
What time, we're adjourning at
Oh.
6:58?
Adjourning currently at 6:59 PM. There we go. Sorry about that. Thank you, Ms. Pugh. And we will get that cart of goodies out to you guys also.
shouldn't need our computer, should we?
I don't think so.
right, item 10.2, the board will now reconvene regular session at 7:36 PM after 30 minutes. Board members who are returning, Mrs. Linda Pugh, Mr. Steve Siebert, and Mr. Corey Williams. Item number 11, and I would just need a motion.
There being no further business, I move that we adjourn the Board of Education meeting.
Second?
Motion by Mrs. Pugh, second by Mr. Siebert. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. I see we lost most of our crowd, so to you guys, be safe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.